You're listening to the OMG Hour.
It is August 26th, 2017, and this is the OMG Hour, episode number 264. I am, of course, Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I am Tico, known as Mr. Second Place in some areas of the world.
Which areas would that be?
Like here. And,
okay.
You know.
And on Twitter.
And on Twitter. And yeah, that
Well,
place.
you're Mr. Second Place on Xbox Live and PSN, but you had to spell it differently on each of them.
Yes, and I often have to spell it somewhat differently because I find it's taken at times. So I'll sometimes do it. I'll spell out the word second. Sometimes it'll be the number 2 with an ND.
ND. Not an NDA, so no one else can talk about it?
No, because we want people to talk about it.
Oh, right, of course.
We want people to discuss
NDA there.
Freely.
Perfect. Well, guess what I did this week, Tico?
Wait, okay. No, I don't know.
You got nothing?
I'm not that clever first thing in the morning.
Oh, okay. I realized, first of all, as I'm hearing a noise in my background, we always pick the wrong time to record because this is when my water softener decides to do its business and it's really loud. So that's that stupid sound you're hearing in the background. Anyway, I did something I haven't done in a long time this week. I turned on my Xbox One.
What?
Right?
It still does that for you?
It still turns on. It for whatever reason does not auto-update itself when it's supposed to.
That's odd because mine does.
It's weird. I don't know, and I was thinking about it later after I had tweeted that out, and I'm wondering if, and I got to check this, because of the second Xbox up in the library, I'm wondering if I've set that to be my home Xbox so that Sydney can play all my games. Hello, Leah.
Say hi to everybody really quickly.
Where is Zach?
No, Zach doesn't do this show.
Where is
Wrong
Zach?
show.
Where's Jeff?
Yeah.
Jeff's not here this week. You say hi to Sean really quickly.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Leah.
All right, now go back out and close the door because you know you're not allowed in here when I'm podcasting, okay? Say goodbye.
Why am I on the wrong way?
That's just how the camera works. Can you please go back out and play TV, or I'm going to turn off the Xbox. Do you want me to go turn off the Xbox?
No.
Okay, go out and close the door.
The joys of a live show. See that?
Yes.
Live show.
All the way closed. Yes.
So
my wife has not woken up yet, so the kid has free reign of the rest of the house.
Good. Perfect timing.
Yes.
So I'm thinking that's maybe why my Xbox isn't updating, because the one upstairs is updating.
Oh, yes. Your home Xbox, I think, is the one that will update.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering if I made the one upstairs my home Xbox so that Sydney can use it and play all the games I purchase, which is probably what happens.
Yes.
So anyway, I downloaded it, but you know what? My lovely new internet access is speedy enough that I downloaded the update, 3.5 gigs or something, plus then I installed a few games, installed the DLC for a game I'm going to talk about in just a minute, and it really was like in less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes, everything was done and ready to go. It was pretty good. I was pretty happy with how fast it was.
I'm looking forward to my fast internet, which comes in 5 days.
Nice. Excellent. Excellent. So, the reason I logged in to my Xbox was so that I could check out, finally, after I don't know how many months, the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 3.
This looks so much fun. It looks like so much fun. I have not played this one yet.
This is, like, honestly, I have never had so much just joyous fun with a racing game. Like, just utter joy. You know, honestly, it brought me back to the days of Wipeout on the PlayStation. Do you remember Wipeout?
I do remember
Which
Wipeout.
just had these amazing tracks that there'd be jumps and there'd be loops and tracks that go up in the air and then back down the side of a mountain. And this is literally what the Hot Wheels expansion is like. The Hot Wheels, there is no limit to what these tracks are doing. you know, and they've got all of the staples of your childhood memories when playing with these orange tracks that you
the
snap
orange
together.
bendable tracks that you slide together, and you know,
yeah.
you do all the way down from the upstairs, all the way down the stairs, and everything like that, and you just drop your Hot Wheels straight down. It's so much fun.
Doing the loop-de-loops, doing the, you know, like doing the flaming. The flaming loops, the flaming rings, and the mechanical dinosaurs on the side of the road, and of course, on Hot Wheels, you remember those areas where you'd get the car down to one lane, and there'd be these wheels that are turning that would essentially speed the car up.
Yeah, fire you up. Yeah,
they do that. Only they're on the ground right now. They're not side, but they're on the ground, and you go over them, and it shoots the car like a turbo. Right, so
that is awesome.
Usually prepares you for like there's one track in here that is absolutely incredible, and for those watching on YouTube, you're going to see it in just a minute. But it's my daughter, and you go straight up the side of a mountain, and then like it's just incredible. Like, in fact, I think that's what we're watching right now. We had just seen it happen, and then she ends up turning around and going back and doing it all again. It's just. There's just something unbelievably gleeful about playing the Hot Wheels expansion, you know, and not just playing races. Like Sydney and I just had fun playing,
driving around,
just driving and saying, "Oh, check out that track over there. Let's see if we can go find it." You know, there were several times where we were at like the top of a huge hill, and then we just fell off the track, and the car spins like it feels like it's spinning, falling forever by the time it hits the ground, you know, because you're so far up. But wow, I was having so much fun with the Hot Wheels expansion. Now, I haven't tried the second expansion, which is Blizzard Mountain.
Yes, that one I have, because that one was on sale. This is the mistake I think I made, is I purchased that one separately. It was on sale for, I think it was like $7 or $8.
Okay.
So I picked that up because it seemed like a good deal, and I checked this one at the same time, but this was still the full $25 price point, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait on that. I should have probably picked up the Seasons Pass, because then I would have gotten both of them. But the Blizzard stuff is really fun too. It's you get reduced visibility in blizzards. You've got you know, ice that you have to contend with, sliding all over the place. An absolutely gorgeous game too, which you can see here with this one as well. Like there's so much attention to detail. In setting up the environment.
Yeah, like it feels like you're riding on, like it almost feels like you're Ant-Man, you know, shrunk down, riding on a Hot Wheels track, you know. Yeah. It's incredible. And sometimes, because the cars they give you are actually Hot Wheels cars, you kind of there's this weird sensation while you're playing when you're racing against other real cars and you're riding in a Hot Wheels car.
Yeah.
There's this sort of disconnect in your brain between toys and real cars, and like, how can my toy be the same size as that real car? You know?
Yeah. But I recognize the buggy that you were using earlier there. I recognize it. I had that. I remember I had that as a kid.
Me too. Yeah.
That green and orange buggy.
And there's even Sydney recognized some of the Hot Wheels cars that she had as a kid. Yeah. You know, it's like Hot Wheels cars are classic. You know, they haven't gone out of style in 40 years. But yeah, no, all of those classic Hot Wheels cars are available. And you can unlock all the different Hot Wheels cars. When you go into your garage now, you have all of the different brands. You know, Acura, Honda, you know, Ford, all that. And then there's Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels is now a car brand. And now, you can go in and
the Hot Wheels vehicles into the other.
Yes, absolutely.
Into the main game.
Oh yeah, they are full on. They're cars designed after the Hot Wheels brand, but they are the Hot Wheels cars. So you can use them in the whole game. You could take those cars once you've unlocked them and use them in your Blizzard Mountain probably.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how well they'd perform in the Blizzard Mountain, but still.
Right? Well, it's funny you say that, because even here, like those tracks, they were designed to almost feel like they're plastic tracks because you slide so easily on them.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't very good grip on the tracks because they're plastic. They're Hot Wheels tracks. But seriously, I've never had so much fun just joyous fun just driving around, going through the loops, going up the side of mountains, and after you go up the mountain, you're doing like a loop around the mountain, and then suddenly you can tell you're going almost straight down, but you're spinning on the track as you go down.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Just,
man. All right, I got to hope for a price drop on that one soon so I can pick it up.
Right?
I don't even need much of a price drop. I just need something so I can convince myself that I can get it.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll convince you. Let's put it this way. So it's $25, right?
Yeah.
And you paid, I think you said $5 or $6 for the other one?
Yes.
That's still cheaper than the season pass.
All right, done.
There you go. There's your excuse right there. So you still saved money by not buying the season pass, so you're good.
Okay, perfect. I feel better about myself now.
Yes. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, I was very, I was excited to get this the other day. So this is a review from Ubisoft, sent to me early. It's funny, I had reached out, I forgot this thing was coming so quickly. I reached out to my contact, said, hey, you know, I'd love to review this game on the Switch when it comes out. And literally in less than 5 minutes, I got a code for it from Ubisoft.
Wow. That was quick.
We literally crossed paths. He was literally preparing these emails as I was writing an email to him. It was it just happened to be coincidental. But the game, of course, I'm talking about is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the Switch. This was a surprise game at E3.
Yeah,
Nobody knew.
That sort of jumped out. Yeah. I think they announced this at Ubisoft, not at Nintendo.
I can't. Ubisoft would have been first, but yes,
they would have been first, and they announced this, and it was sort of a real surprise. And I think they showed some more details at Nintendo's press conference.
Big surprise.
Yeah, this was one that was sort of like, wow, I didn't expect this. Didn't know this was coming.
No, and I'm going to be honest. At first, I was like, what? What are you doing? What are you talking about? So I've had a chance to play this for a bit, for a couple of hours, and my initial thoughts are this is incredible. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. It really is, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's sort of like an XCOM take of, it's a battle system like XCOM where you take individual turns, you take cover, you move around the map, and then you take a shot at the enemies. The enemies are Rabbids. So the Mushroom Kingdom and the Rabbids have been merged. The two worlds have been crashed together, and elements of Rabbids are merging with elements of the kingdom, the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's up to Mario and friends to save the day and to get things back to order. I'm not going to spoil how this all happens. It's a funny little story. But the elements on it are very XCOM-like, but a simplified version of XCOM.
Yeah.
You know, so there's certainly not as many details. You can't lose team members. They can be knocked out in battle if you lose all your health, but they're not dead like in XCOM. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a kid's game if it was, right? Your cover can be destroyed, and you get different powers. There's something like over 250 different weapons you can collect throughout the course of the game. I'm not sure how many characters there are in the whole game, but the one thing that's fantastic about this is I'm playing through this game. I'm having a lot of fun. It's unlike any Mario game you've ever played. It's unlike any Rabbids game you've ever played. But Ubisoft has done such an amazing job with this that it feels like I'm playing a Mario game. You know? And the reason I say a Mario game versus a Rabbids game is because while there are Rabbids in it, see, to me, Rabbids, while I know that they're a Ubisoft IP, they don't really scream Ubisoft to me.
No, it's more, they feel like they fit in the Mario universe.
They kind of do, exactly. And so the whole game itself, while playing, truly feels like I'm playing a Mario game. You know, if there were more elements in it that kind of merged the Mario and the Nintendo and Ubisoft brands together, it might feel like more of a Ubisoft title.
Yeah.
You know, but right now, the way they've done it, it really does feel like a Nintendo product. But that's also to say, like, when you say Nintendo product, you expect quality. And that's what this game exudes. It exudes a Nintendo quality, which is fantastic.
the look is very Nintendo as well. Like it has
absolutely.
the aesthetic and the look and the feel of what it looks like feels like a Nintendo title.
It really does. They have done an amazing job creating, in essence, a Nintendo title. And this, you know, if I would be so bold to say, this is kind of a must-have game for the Switch. This is so well done. It's a lot of fun. You know, in between battles, you're still kind of roaming a little bit of an open world. It's actually, you know, it's not even an open world. It's still guided. You have to go from point A to point B, but you can kind of look around and look for little hidden things and collect coins. Coins are used to upgrade your weapons or to purchase new weapons. All right. Yeah. So it's not like you have this massive world you can go anywhere you want. You can't. You go from one battle arena. You walk across a path, maybe through a little bit of an open area where you can check for hidden stuff, and then on to the next battle. And that's really the course of the game. So I am having a lot of fun with this game. I highly recommend it. I'll have a little bit more to say about it next week once I've played more through it. I'm only in the very early stages of the game right now. But I'm really impressed. Like, honestly, when it was announced at E3, I'm like, what? I know Jeff was actually super excited for it. He was really looking forward to this game. And I was a little bit iffy. I'm like, I don't get it, you know? And then once I started looking at it and realizing it's kind of an XCOM take on a Mario game, I'm like, okay, I can do that. And that's really what it is. It's really sort of a simplified XCOM style game, you know, set in the Mushroom Kingdom with Mario and Rabbids. And it's brilliant. It's really brilliantly done.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I'll have played this next week as well. So I'm looking forward to trying it. Like, even just seeing your footage here makes me more excited about getting this one next week.
Yeah, it's if you have a Switch, then you need to pick up this game. Bottom line, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And finally, I think you and I had a chance to play the Conan Exiles game preview this week on Xbox One. Not impressed with this game.
Very much preview.
At all. It is very much a preview. It's really in rough shape. The UI on it is horrendous.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that mostly my problem with games like this, and this goes back to, this is Conan Exiles, this is Ark. We've talked about Ark Survival before. My issue with these survival games is, like, I understand the concept behind you wake up somewhere and you have to survive. Okay, I get it. I get it. But at least tell me, give me some hints as to what I should be doing. What am I looking for? How do things work in this world? Because here's the thing. With Conan Exiles, the game starts, you are essentially a criminal on a cross. You're cut down. And you're set free. Okay, great. I'm an adult who was just sentenced for a crime I didn't commit, apparently, set free, but you're treating me like a child who knows nothing.
Yeah, like, you should be able to know how to feed yourself or stuff like that. Like, give me, you know, like some sort of a thing. Go here. Give me a quest marker or something like that for me to go somewhere to do something.
Yeah, like
to learn more.
As soon as you're cut down, you're like, oh, you're dying of thirst. You're dying of hunger. Okay, great. You're telling me I'm dying of thirst, but you stuck me in the middle of a desert.
Yeah.
And there's nothing around for miles. What am I supposed to do? Like, when you first get into the game, give me some hints as to what I'm supposed to do. You know, how do I make food? I found a campfire. I had items I had picked up. But I had no clue how to actually make food. Like, it didn't make any sense to me, you know? I had no clue what to do. I figured out how I could pick up items, and I could...
Apparently you couldn't find a top either, apparently.
No, I could not find clothes, so she's running around naked.
Now we've got a not safe for work on this podcast, on the video because of that.
Oh,
good job, Sean.
For all of 10 seconds.
All of 10 seconds of boob. There you go.
But yeah, no, I was really not impressed with this game at all. It made no sense to me. I thought when you went into the PvE world that it would
give you something.
It would give you something like quest. Give me a quest to do. Tell me where I'm supposed to be going. But
teach me how to play your game.
Exactly. Teach me how to play. But also, I think, honestly, graphically, the game didn't impress me either. Being on a next gen console and being on PC.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, this feels like 10 years old almost, if I may be so bold.
The textures aren't great. You know, there's a lot of, you know, enemies. I mean, again, it's preview, so, you know, I get it. But, like, enemies clipping and stuff like that, floating in the air. I think a turtle flew up at, like, you know, head height at me.
Nice. Yeah, no, there were definitely a lot of issues. I mean, I found a lake, so I wouldn't be thirsty anymore. But for the life of me, had no clue where to find food. You know, I just basically traveled around until I died of hunger. Yeah,
that's the thing. You couldn't figure out. I found some people. There's some people. I walked up to them, and they immediately started shooting me with arrows, and I had to run away.
Good. Well, I found like well, apparently it's called an imp, which you can see on screen right now, but it certainly doesn't look like an imp. It just looks like some kind of a troll.
Well, everything they have in here is steroids. Like the turtles are on steroids too. They're like rejects from a Pokemon game or something.
That's Pokemon rejects. This isn't Conan Exiles. What game are we playing? Yeah, so, Pokemon rejects.
I'm excited to see what they can do with it because I enjoyed the Conan mythos growing up. I liked the movies. I read the comic books. It seems like a fun, you know, type of universe to be in. I just hope that they can do something with the gameplay so I don't feel like everything is going to kill me instantly.
Right. I even tried to fight this imp with my bare hands, and for the life of me, you couldn't even hit him.
Yeah, like, you can't even tell if you're making. Oh, look, you know, you've done some damage there.
I have no idea if I'm connecting to him though. I don't know if that's my blood or if it's his blood. Like, I don't know if I'm connecting in fighting him.
There's no thing saying, hey, you've done 12 points of damage out of his however many. Like, is this a fight you should even be in?
Right.
Like, is this guy like 400, million hit points, and you just are running around and tickling him, basically?
Right? Yeah. I was, I played it for, I don't know, and maybe a little over an hour, just running around trying to figure things out, and I couldn't figure out how to make food, or I don't know, dude. I don't get it. I don't get the here you go, just go figure it out, and but keep in mind you're going to die in 10 minutes. Like, well,
yeah.
How am I supposed to figure things out while I'm dying?
And it was the same when I played Ark, and actually coincidentally Ark actually goes live next week.
Ark was exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and the full version of Ark goes live next week. Now, a little story, I was actually at EB the other day. And one of the guys said, "Hey, you got to see this because Ark comes out next week. They've got a physical box copy. You got to see this." And he shows me the video for Ark that they've got playing on their video loop there. And I'm watching this thing. I'm like, this game looks absolutely amazing based off of this video. It looked like open world Skyrim,
right?
But like way better graphics and everything like that too. And that is not what it is. And I'm like, how are they getting away with advertising this like this?
Yeah, they can definitely advertise these games better than they actually play. I mean, you and I saw Conan Exiles at PAX East.
Yes.
On a PC, probably with the full graphics package, and it looked good. Of course, they threw us into the game many hours in where you've got full health.
With a sword.
With swords, fully clothed, with armor, and said, go at it. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. But then I jump into it fresh with a brand new game, and I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't know how to survive, and I tried several times, and I literally couldn't get anywhere because I couldn't find anything, and I kept dying of either thirst or hunger.
Or imp.
Yeah. Well, I actually fought that imp deliberately just so I could die. It's like, just get me out of here.
Yeah, I think at one point I let hyenas tear me apart in order to just, okay, this isn't working. I don't know what I'm doing with this. So
now it is, like we said, it's game preview. It is super early. It's really in rough shape. There's a lot of work needs to be done on this for Xbox.
Yeah.
Chico was mentioning of things hovering in midair, and I saw enemies that were just literally circling, like no AI whatsoever, and they weren't even touching the ground. They're just walking around like 2 feet off the ground, you know. So there's a lot of clipping issues. There's a lot of, the UI was horrible. At one point, I'm in the UI and there's tabs across the top. So I went to another tab, and then I you know, naturally, because I think, okay, tabs are top, and then I want to go down into the menu. No, you have to go up from the bottom into the menu, because your cursor is automatically at the bottom where the OK and the cancel button are.
Oh.
Right. So even though you're changing tabs at the top, if you want to get into the menu, you have to go up. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? You know, I'm sorry, but naturally when I change a tab, I expect it to go down into the menu.
Yeah, the big problem with a lot of these preview games is, like, obviously it's a preview game. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to change between now and when the full version of this game comes out. But I have no idea when that's going to be. I think Ark, I have had Ark for 2 years.
Yeah, probably. Ark's been a long time,
you know,
yeah.
And it's just coming out now. So, like, what we see now versus what's actually going to come out when this game, like, they don't give you that timeline of when they're going to be ready. So
no,
it's
we have no idea.
It's hard to play this, but they're selling it now. You know, as they're selling, you know, you're buying into the preview. You'll get the game when it comes out. It's hard to judge based off of what's essentially a, you know, alpha or beta.
Yeah. Now we are reviewing this or previewing this with using codes that we received to download it.
Yes.
So we didn't pay the $40 to play it. And at this point, I would honestly recommend save your $40.
Yeah. Wait till they're ready and they have something to present that's going to be playable.
Yes. It's not playable right now. I don't know if the final version will have some kind of an initial tutorial. Hey, go find this. Like, when I started the game, I came across a water jug and a note, you know, from a dead traveler. And I was like, okay, I feel like I'm on the right track. I must be going somewhere. And then I came across another note from someone else, but there was nothing else there. I'm thinking, okay, maybe now they're going to give me some food to continue, but nothing there.
Yeah.
And then it was shortly after that I died for the first time. I'm like, okay, I felt like I was on the right track. What did I do wrong?
Well, that's because, it starts you off, it says, go to the city or something like that. And you're walking, you follow the only path there is there from where you start. And I didn't find a city.
No, and then when I died and respawned, I was somewhere else. I was nowhere near where I started the game. Yeah. I had no clue where I was at that point now. So I honestly don't get it. Listen, like I said earlier, I understand the concept behind this kind of survival game. I think it's a great idea, a great concept. You need to survive. You need to find clothes, food, shelter. Yeah. I get it.
But throw me a frickin' bone. Give me some direction. But
give me direction and don't force me to actually die of thirst and hunger within 10 minutes of starting the game.
Yeah.
When I'm still in the mode of trying to figure it out.
I don't even know what buttons do what.
Exactly.
Give me, hand me a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
And, a fresca or something like that at the beginning of the game, just so I have something to hold me over. And then say, hey, listen, if you want another turkey sandwich, you got to do this.
You got to go make it.
Yeah. Like, find a turkey, hit it over the head with a club, and,
Well, you got to make your club first. You need to find wood and rock.
But at least tell me that. Like,
I found wood and rock and I made an axe.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find food.
At least you had an axe. I was trying to punch turtles.
Oh, and when you die, you lose everything.
Yeah.
You don't lose your levels, but you lose all your items. So you don't actually start fresh. Like I was level 3 when I died. Yeah. I was still level 3 when I resurrected, but I had zero items on me whatsoever.
Yeah. So back to nude again, eh?
Yes. Back to running around nude. So that's what I played this week. And obviously you played Conan Exiles. You played something else as well.
Well, I played some more Agents of Mayhem. Still don't think that game's fully worth a full price game, but I'm having fun with it. It's an easy one to play through when I don't want to think. But I also went in, so I played some World of Tanks on the Xbox One.
Yeah. So Jeff has talked about this before. What did you think of it?
I actually enjoyed it. So they just actually added a single-player War Stories mode.
Oh.
Which is why I hopped back into this. So this came out on the 22nd. So they've added a sort of little single-player campaign. I think a couple of different single-player campaign stories to the game.
Wait, is this still free to play?
This is still free to play, and the war stories are free to play.
Free to play, and there's a single player content?
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible, dude.
Yeah, so I was actually pretty impressed. Like, I hopped in thinking, okay, this is going to cost me money or anything. Then when you actually go in to look at it, it's very confusing because they have a pricing structure for stuff, and it's like war stories, and you could click on it and say, okay, like I want to get this, and it's like $79. I'm like, what the? And I look at what the content was, and the content was just like if you want to buy some more tanks and get some, you know,
for $70.
Yeah, but the war story stuff itself was a free download. It was available. I updated and clicked on the war story stuff. I believe there's going to be 3 stories total. So the first one is available now, and so it goes through it. You're basically just playing a little single player campaign against the AI.
But it's still free. You don't have to pay that $70.
Free. You don't have to pay it. You don't have to pay a penny.
Okay.
I think if you want, like, I guess people who are really competitive on it, they want their special tanks and stuff like that. For me, I can't tell the difference between one tank and another. So whatever one you throw me in, I will use and
right.
You know, roll around and shoot bad guys.
So the single player is it challenging? Is it easy to play? Like how? Or
I've only played like the first couple of parts of it so far. It's not been super challenging so far. Like, I mean, I haven't died yet.
Okay. So it's easy, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm terrible at games. I know. It's not super easy, but I mean, I imagine it will get more difficult. But it is fun. Like, if you enjoy these sort of tank simulator games, they are fun. Trying to figure out tank controls after having not played any of that for a while, you're going to have some real fun if you ever try that after playing Forza, because tanks do not control the same way.
No. I want to play. I want to drive a tank on Hot Wheels tracks. Can I do that?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, just go right ahead.
Make that happen, Microsoft.
Done. They'll take care.
It'll be the Forza Horizon 3 World of Tanks DLC.
There you go. You know, really for free content, you know, really happy that they're continuing to support this game and build up, you know, add new content, like a single player campaign. For me, I suck at multiplayer. Like, I would have been dead like 50 times in the time we show in this video had this been you know, PvP content. So the fact that there's some stuff where I can actually take out some AI enemies, I actually have a legitimate shot. So it's fun.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Okay.
None whatsoever. It just happens.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, so let's move on to this stuff.
This stuff.
So Gamescom was this week. Did you have a chance to watch any of it or see anything to do with Gamescom?
So this week sucked for me work-wise. I was actually in the office like twice this week, and then in, you know, Mississauga and everything a couple of times. So I didn't really get to see any of the stuff as it happened. I saw some of the news as it was announced.
So you actually worked this week?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Went to work. I don't enjoy it. Not that I don't enjoy my job. I enjoy my job. I don't enjoy going to the office. It took me 2 hours to get home from Mississauga yesterday.
Seriously?
Yeah, I left at 3 o'clock. 2 hours to get back to Hamilton from Mississauga, which is normally, for people who don't know those distances, it's normally about a 45 minute drive. Took me 2 hours to get home.
Yes.
So,
see, here in Canada, we measure distance by time.
Yes.
It's like, how far is that? Yeah, how far is that?
You have to, because it's like, to actually say, oh, it's like, you know, 12 kilometers or 15 miles, that has no indication of how long that's going to take you to get anywhere, because our traffic is terrible.
Yeah, so it's like a light year. It's distance, not
a
time.
Parsec.
It's a parsec, that's right. How many parsecs to Mississauga?
It's 4.5 parsecs to Mississauga.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, Microsoft was, I think, Sunday. I managed to watch, I thought I was watching a little bit of Microsoft. It was weird, though. It wasn't a press conference. I thought it was, but what I saw was, like, interview segments. So
okay.
I'm not sure what I was watching, but that's what IGN was streaming anyway. I watched it for a bit. I wasn't able to watch a lot of it. But, of course, Project Scorpio or Xbox One X pre-orders went out this week.
Right at the end of their press conference, as it ended.
As it ended, they went available. Project Scorpio Edition pre-orders.
Yes.
So you can get a special Xbox One X that says Project Scorpio on it.
Yes.
You know, I guess that's similar to my day one version that I've got.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all it is. It's just the aesthetic of it. They apparently sold out very, very quickly.
Yeah, something like 6 minutes or something they were sold out. Pretty incredible, actually.
Yeah, for something that people are saying that they are not super into and not necessarily sure if they want, sold out pretty quick for pre-orders.
I've heard people canceling their pre-orders now.
Yeah.
Because of other announcements that have come up, like things like, well, the Crackdown 3, delay, and people really looking at this thinking, is this even, like, why am I buying this?
Yeah.
We have a link in our show notes that it says something like Microsoft is still a tough sell. The Microsoft Xbox One X, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's kind of true. Like, why? What's the point of an Xbox One X? Let's talk about it a little bit later, but let's keep that in your mind there. And I kind of agree with that, because there's really nothing huge coming for Xbox that's going to take advantage of Xbox One X at launch.
No, I mean there's a few titles that are getting their 4K updates and stuff like that, but
and okay, so they're re-releasing some games. They're re-releasing ReCore.
Yes, a definitive edition.
Didn't do well to begin with. So why are you re-releasing it? Because you think it'll do better?
I think that they're hoping that, they're going to put it out with the console and hope that people will go, okay, well, I need to play something, I'll pick this up. If you own ReCore already, you're getting a free upgrade to the definitive edition.
ReCore is also coming to Game Pass.
Yes.
So that's actually pretty interesting that they're throwing a fairly recent game into Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I look at this, and there was other games that they're up-resing for the Xbox One X. I'm like, but why? Like Zoo Tycoon, which was a launch title.
Yes. Well, you need to have better quality, animals for your zoo.
I don't get it. Why are you upgrading those titles? It doesn't make sense to me. These are not titles people actually care about. These are not going to sell your console.
No, but maybe they'll sell a couple of copies of these games moving forward. Somebody will buy, for $29, they'll pick up a copy. There are a few of them, for example, like the Zoo Tycoon was a Kinect title when it launched. As is the Kinect Disneyland and stuff like that.
Oh, right, Disneyland Adventures they're redoing as well.
Yes. Now, these ones are now going to be able to be controlled with your Kinect or with your controller. So you don't have to use the Kinect anymore for these. So maybe that might... And the Disney one, I'm actually interested in as a controller game of getting for my daughter.
Yeah, okay. But is that a reason to buy an Xbox One X?
No, it could be the same crappy graphics as it was released with, and it would have been fine for that.
But that's my point, is why are these games being targeted for the 4K treatment for Xbox One X?
It must have been an easy conversion. Like, press a button and just let it render and whatever, and then just put it back out. Like, it must have been like one of the easiest conversions they've ever done in order to do it. And it was like, all right, well, what the heck, we'll do it. Why not?
I don't get it. I just don't. So a whole bunch of stuff happened at Gamescom. I mean, I don't think there was any surprises. A lot of the stuff, as I go through sort of the notes of Gamescom, it's all stuff we've already known about. It's stuff they've already announced. There was no big announcements, Bethesda showed off Evil Within 2. EA showed off FIFA. Sony showed off GT Sport with a special limited edition controller for it.
Console skin is a console as well.
Console and controller for GT. Shenmue 3 was shown off.
Yep.
Teaser trailer on the PlayStation 4. I played Shenmue 1 and 2 on was it Dreamcast? I want to say Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, I think.
Yeah. And they weren't games that super impressed me. So and I certainly don't remember what they were about. Let alone, being excited for Shenmue 3. Because I have no clue what they were about at this point in time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not super excited about it. I know that was a big deal. They did that whole Kickstarter campaign to get that game funded, and so it's now getting, some more details about that. I think that was 2 years ago at E3 they announced the Kickstarter for Shenmue.
That's right. 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm not, it's not a game that interests me that much, but, like if people are interested, obviously enough people wanted to play it because they kickstarted it to their funding within 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Somebody must be interested in that game.
So let's go back to Microsoft a little bit, Microsoft and Sony. So apparently Microsoft is talking to Sony about cross-play games.
Yes.
Specifically things like Minecraft, for example, because Xbox owns Minecraft, but they want Minecraft to be one big happy family.
Yeah,
they want cross-platform
PC,
play.
Xbox, iPad, whatever you've got it on, they want the same content.
Right, and I mean, good on Microsoft to talk to Sony, but what's Sony? What's the stick up Sony's butt? Why are they don't want to play nice? I don't get it. Like they talk nice, they talk big, saying, "Hey, we like the idea of cross-platform," but then when it actually comes down to it, they won't do it.
I don't know what they feel they're losing if they do this. I mean, at this point in this discussion, they really are coming across as the villains too.
Right, exactly.
Like they could just say, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we'll do it." With whatever control they feel they need to have in there.
Here's what's happening. So when we had the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 before launch, and people were deciding which platform they're going, Jeff had a very good thing to say. Is he said, it always happens where one console gets so big that they lose focus and they make a mistake when the next console comes out. We saw that happen with Sony between the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, right? Yep. PlayStation 2 was so big, so popular, they thought they could get away with anything.
Can't fail mentality.
Right. And then, of course, the PlayStation 3 comes out and it fails, and Xbox rises to fame with the 360. Yeah. And, of course, the same thing happened to them as they got too big for their britches. They made mistakes. They stumbled with the Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 took the crown. I almost feel like Sony's getting there again. They think because the PlayStation 4 is so much more popular than the Xbox One that they can just say no. And they can control it. Like, they feel like maybe they think they want to have control over this crossplay talk. This crossplay functionality, because they're so big that they can dictate the rules. Yeah. And that, in and of itself, is what's going to bring them down.
That's saying, like, if I want to play, Minecraft or Rocket League with you, we should be able to hop on. I should be able to hop on my preferred console, you hop on yours, and we should be able to play those games. There's no reason, for a game that's not, an exclusive or first-party developer, why we shouldn't be able to play the same game. Like everything.
Take Destiny 2, for example. Why can't there be a system in place that allows Destiny 2 players on a console to play together?
Yeah.
Or any kind of multiplayer game. Take any kind of multiplayer. Take Battlegrounds, for example. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. If it came to both consoles, why couldn't they both play together? If they're playing on third-party servers, why could there not be some kind of a mechanism? Why can't the first-party consoles allow that to happen? There's got to be a way of allowing it to happen. There can't be
enough differences in between those two games that's stopping it from happening. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that there are, and I'm sure somebody with some technical background would probably just put us in our place as to why this can't happen. But Jeff's not here, so we get to, speculate.
That's right. We get to say we want it without him telling us we can't have it.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm glad Microsoft's talking to Sony. I just wish Sony would, get the stick out of their butt and get on the line, here.
Give the gamers what they want. That was their whole mentality, a couple of years ago. Give the gamers what they want. That's what got them back in the lead of giving that mentality of we're going to give the gamers exactly what they want. The gamers they want a physical copy of a game still. That was their whole spiel a couple of years ago at E3. So continue to do that. Gamers want to be able to play with their friends regardless of console. Make it happen.
And now we want to play against people on other consoles.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to be able to jump in and I want to be able to jump into Destiny 2 and Tico. Just because you bought it on Xbox doesn't mean we can't play together. That's what I want.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So now it's not like, oh, you have to buy it on this console because we want to play together. I want to say, hey, Tico, you like Xbox. Great. Are you buying Destiny 2? And that's it. That's the discussion now. It's like, are you also buying Destiny 2 regardless of what console? Because we can play together. That's what I want. That's the kind of world I want to live in, where it matters about the game, not the console. Yeah. Not the platform.
And it extends the life of those games too, because you have that entire community now playing. It's not just, okay, this game really took off on Xbox, but not so much on PlayStation, or vice versa.
Look at Evolve, you know?
Yeah.
If Evolve was cross-platform, it probably, or even Titanfall 1, you know, it may have lasted longer. More people would have been playing because it was cross-platform. Just because the Xbox or the PlayStation crew stopped playing, maybe there was a bunch of people on Xbox. They could have played together. It would have opened up that pool of people into a much larger audience and maybe kept the interest alive longer.
Yeah.
Right? I don't understand why they don't see this.
Well, I'm sure somebody sees it, but
yeah, but they're holding it back.
They're just saying no for some reason. I would really like to. And you know what? Sony could be they could be the big guy here, the big winner out of this. If they're the one that just make the announcement saying, "Hey, we've decided we're going to allow this to happen," and they're the heroes all of a sudden. They go from villain to hero just like that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and they should.
Yeah.
So earlier I was saying that there's a great article. I think you should check it out. It's in our show notes. That Microsoft Xbox One X, it's still a tough sell. It's coming up for launch soon, but it has, with the delay of Crackdown, which is yet another thing we're going to talk about soon. There's nothing really coming out that needs an Xbox One X.
No.
Okay. The problem that with an Xbox One X right now is, yes, it's super powerful. Yes, it's play games natively in 4K. There's a lot of Xbox One X enhanced games on the horizon.
Yes.
But they're not available at launch.
Yeah, though they don't have the games, they're putting the console out before the games, and particularly with Microsoft's track record for launch consoles, it would behoove people to wait until they make sure, don't get that first batch of them where there's going to be problems. Wait till there's a game.
Did you just get to use the word behooves?
I know.
That's incredible.
I know. I have a word of the day calendar here.
Wow, behooves. Continue. Sorry. It behooves players to what?
To wait until there's something, until that first batch of consoles, goes out, comes back, gets returned because there's a defect or overheating or whatever it is. Wait until they've got a game.
Yeah.
You don't need to get it at launch.
Here's the thing about Xbox One X. It is a powerful box. It's got, native 4K. It's got Dolby Atmos surround, So in order to actually experience this new box at its fullest, you need the latest and greatest television. You need the latest and greatest stereo with Dolby Atmos, which who's going to have that, honestly? Like, who's going to have actually the hardware to go with this to truly experience it for what it really is? Is Microsoft trying to go too far with that? Like, I understand 4K, don't get me wrong. I get it. 4K, it's the up-and-coming new television standard. It's still not a standard because I think majority of people still only have 1080p.
Yes.
And I say that, it's funny I say only 1080p, but I wanted to have a 4K TV like almost a year ago and it still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So, I'm certainly not ready for an Xbox One X. I'm still happy with my current Xbox. But I don't use it all that much.
And mine is fine as well. And I'm a big Xbox. And now that being said, I did pre-order a Project Scorpio edition. I did manage to get a pre-order down.
So they suckered you in because of the Project Scorpio edition.
No, actually, they went live. I did get a little more worked into the hype for it, but I've pre-ordered it. And now, if I decide I want it at launch, I'll have it at launch. If I decide I don't want it at launch, I can cancel that pre-order. I mean, I also pre-ordered one of the
how much
SNES classics.
How much was it here in Canada, the Xbox One X?
$599.
So $600 Canadian. Yeah. And how much is an Xbox One S right now? Do you know?
I'm going to say $299.
Okay. So it's twice as much as an Xbox One S.
Yeah.
That you currently have and can play 4K games.
Yeah.
So, is there really a reason to upgrade to an X?
There's not
X,
right now.
not S.
There's not right now, but there's 3 months between now and when it comes out. I've put down a $50 deposit towards it, and if during that time something amazing gets announced, I've got one pre-ordered. If nothing gets announced that really sways me to that, then I can cancel my pre-order.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, the article we're posting to, it's on Engadget. It's a really good sort of take on, what is the value of the Xbox One X versus what's out there now with the S. The PlayStation 4 Pro, which came out a year ago, at $100 cheaper than the X is going to go for.
Yes.
Also had 4K gaming. It also has VR. Another thing is they still haven't talked about what their VR strategy is on Xbox.
No.
So they haven't said nothing, and yet, PlayStation VR is coming up on a year old, and it's doing well. There's a huge library of games for it. So it's not like it's going anywhere. It's not like it's not still an experiment, if you know what I mean. It's a solid platform.
Yeah.
And yet Microsoft still hasn't said a thing about their VR strategy. If there's going to be one, especially with Xbox One X, is that something they're going to come out with next year? Why don't we know anything about it yet? If they've got this super powerful machine.
Yeah, I think they're very gun shy about talking about anything now after the Crackdown stuff, and they've had a number of games where they've made big announcements and stuff like that, and stuff like Dragon Scale getting canceled, Crackdown getting pushed twice now. I think that they're trying to hold their cards close to the vest because they keep getting bashed every time they announce something early.
Yeah, and exactly on that point, Microsoft exec has actually come out and said that announcing Crackdown 3 too early was a mistake. They announced this thing 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yes, it's been we've just had our annual pushback of Crackdown 3.
Now, yeah, we talked about the pushback last week, so I'm not going to talk about the pushback. What I want to talk about in this article is not only they saying it was a mistake to talk about it too early, but the article goes on to say, and I'm quoting from the article here, this is on Polygon, Crackdown 3 contains 3 distinct game modes, Loftus explained, and Loftus is one of the execs, Shannon Loftus, general manager for Microsoft Studio Publishing. 3 studios, so it has 3 distinct game modes, and 3 studios are working on the title. 3 studios on one title. You got Regent Games, Sumo Digital, and Cloud Gene.
Yeah, so there's your problem. Nobody's gonna be able to work together to put something together that's cohesive.
We saw what happened to a game when more than one company, like Deus Ex: Human Revolution, was worked on by 2 different companies. One company did the boss battles, while the other company did the main game, and we know how disparate those 2 things were once it was done.
Yeah,
right?
You lose vision. You lose sight of the vision when you're not working on the whole thing.
I'm afraid for Crackdown 3. You're telling me there's 3 game studios working on 3 different modes for this one game? What are you doing?
Yeah. I was not a big fan of Crackdown 2, so I am very hesitant now on 3.
Because Crackdown 2 was not the original developer.
Yeah,
we were told the original developer was working on Crackdown 3 again, and now we find out there's 3 developers? What are you doing, Microsoft?
Yeah, I think they made a huge mistake with this game, and I think it's not going to sell well when it eventually comes out in 2025.
And we're seeing that, obviously, what was I going to say? I lost track. Sorry. I looked at the notes because Andy's been talking to us, and I haven't noticed. I'm sorry, Andy. Andy was talking about the Xbox One S. I think that's what his note says here when we were talking about that earlier. He doesn't think the Xbox One S can do 4K games. It can do HDR and 4K Blu-rays. I thought the S could do 4K games, no?
I think it can, because that's what was one of the big things, is they are upgrading their games to 4K. That's 4K the big push.
And HDR, yeah. But it might not be native. I think maybe it's a up-res. It's not a native. That's the difference. Like the PS4 Pro, I don't think the PS4 Pro is actually native 4K. I think it's up-res to 4K. I'm not sure. I don't know the details, honestly. But Crackdown, I don't know. I'm fearful for Crackdown. I'm worried. I wouldn't say fearful. I'm not afraid of a game. I can be afraid while playing a game, but I'm not afraid of games. But I don't know. Like 3 games, 3 studios, 3 modes, 1 game does not bode well, and it's been delayed 3 times or 2 or 3 times now. This does not bode well.
2 major delays. 2 major delays now.
This doesn't bode well for a solidly constructed game.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know what else to say. I'm worried. You know, I think a lot of people are excited for Crackdown 3, but the more I read about it, the more I'm worried that something's just wrong internally. There's some internal struggle going on to get this game done.
Yeah. Like the first game was so much fun. I want them to capture that again, and I just don't think they can do that with 3 competing game modes and developers like this. I'm worried that it's not going to be good. I'm worried about a repeat of Crackdown 2.
I agree. All right, we need to move on. We've got more stuff to talk about, and we only got a few minutes left.
Okay.
Xbox Games with Gold.
Yes.
For September. So, Tico, what are we getting this month?
So, September 1st to the 30th, we're getting, on the Xbox One, Forza Motorsports 5.
So, a 2-3-year-old game now?
Yeah.
I guess I don't mean that negatively. I mean, so we've got Forza 7 coming.
Yes.
But they're going to give us Forza 5. I guess, I mean, it's good timing because it'll kind of get you ready for 7.
If you don't have it, I mean, this thing has been in like 14 different bundles before. I think I've still got.
Oh, this was the launch
upstairs.
one. Wasn't this the Xbox One X launch title?
Yes.
This was because then 6 came out later. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think I still have codes for this upstairs. I don't know anybody who doesn't own it already.
I can attest that Forza Motorsport 5 is a tough sell, even if you're giving it away.
Again, this whole thing where they put the value of it underneath, $39.99 is what they're calling the value of this game.
Anyone who wants this game already has it, and if they don't have it, talk to someone, because there's probably a code out there for it somewhere.
There'll be a code somewhere for it. Like, it does not excite me for that game whatsoever. Not saying it's not a good game, but I played it, 3 years ago when it first came out, and I'm not excited about playing Forza Motorsports 5 anymore.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So I'm not excited about playing this one anymore.
No.
So, all right. From the 16th to October 15th, Oxenfree.
Do you know what Oxenfree is? Because I know I've heard the name, but I can't place what it is.
I have it. I just haven't played it. I think it's an RPG type of game.
You pressed buttons and then didn't play?
I don't remember why I bought it, but I did. It was...
Oh, I know why you bought it.
Well, I buy things. That's what I do. I honestly can't remember enough about the game. I've played it for about 5 minutes. I guess I'll give it a shot again. I mean, I already have it on the thing. From what I understand, it is a decent game from what I understand.
Okay.
It's some sort of like a RPG story type of thing. Like I think it's like a Monkey Island type, not like the humor of Monkey Island, but that sort of point and click adventure type of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, on the Xbox 360, backwards compatible, September 1st to 15th, Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
My gosh, Hydro Thunder is amazing.
Yes,
I love Hydro Thunder.
This is a fun game. So this is what is it, the jet boats? They'd be called jet boats. Jet boat racing.
Yeah, it's jet boats, right? Yes, it's that.
What I said.
Oxenfree is a 2016 supernatural mystery graphic adventure video game developed and published by Night School Studios.
See, that's exactly what I said.
Supernatural mystery graphic adventure. So yeah, it's a point and click.
Point and click.
I'm not a fan of point and clicks.
I like them, but you have to be in the right mind frame, because those are the ones you have to be fully paying attention to the game you're playing, because you have to click on every little thing, and it's so easy to get stuck on those.
I prefer the new, I guess, the modern take on point and clicks, which is the Telltale games, because that's really what the Telltale games are. It's a modern take on point and click adventures. Yes. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah. I think this one here is more like the Monkey Island style, where like combine this with this, and they're again very easy to get stuck in the game and get frustrated. So anyway, Hydro Thunder, great game. If you don't have it, download it, play it. I love it. It's amazing. It was originally on Dreamcast, I believe. I think you are correct. Yeah, I think it was either Dreamcast or Nintendo 64. I can't remember. I think it may have been on both. I think that this game has been on both, an iteration of it at least. Yeah. And then from the 16th to the 30th of September, Battlefield 3. Okay. I think I have that one. I never played it, but I have it because I think if you have EA access, you have it. I think that's true, and that might be where I got it from, because it's in the vault. Yeah. I think it's a vault. Again, it's a good game. I think I've had it for free from the vault for quite some time. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not overly blown away with the selections. I mean, Hydro Thunder Hurricane is the only one I don't own. Hydro Thunder. Sorry, just had to do it. Come on, be professional. Okay, why? No, okay, don't do that. Okay, anyway, two more things. We're at an hour, but two more things real quick. This is kind of strange, don't you think? Final Fantasy 15 meets Assassin's Creed. There's going to be an Assassin's Festival in Final Fantasy 15, complete with Assassin's Creed costumes for your characters and Assassin's Creed moves. Apparently, Noctis is going to be able to climb up the side of buildings and do like the jump into the hay bales. You know, the eagle jump. Leap of faith. Leap of faith. Thank you. But what? Assassin's Creed meets Final Fantasy? Odd, doesn't it? Crossover. Like, it's not very often you see crossovers between game companies. First of all, we had Mario and Rabbids. Yeah. Right? And now we've got Final Fantasy and Assassin's Creed. It almost feels like Ubisoft is reaching out to everybody saying, hey, let's do a crossover. What do you want to do? We got some stuff. Let's play. Let's play in our big sandbox. It's those old Reese's commercials where like somebody's walking along with their copy of Final Fantasy, and somebody's walking along and they bump into each other. It's like, hey, you got my Assassin's Creed in your Final Fantasy. No, you got your Final Fantasy in my Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Like it's a very weird thing. I mean, I guess it looks like it works. We'll find out. It's a free download, I think, for anyone who is it just the season pass, or is it free for everyone? I think it's a free for everybody. It's a free for everyone because it's a festival. Yeah, right. It's not actually it's not DLC. It's a festival that happens in Lestalem. So during the time that it's there, you travel to Lestalem, and there's your Final Fantasy or your Assassin's Festival. It's so bizarre, but I will definitely be checking it out. And it starts, I believe, next week. So I'll get some footage of it for next show. Yeah. The nice thing about this is usually there's some flip-flop on that, too. So maybe the new Assassin's Creed game will have some of the Final Fantasy weapons or something like that. Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, like what's the crossover into Assassin's Creed going to be? Yeah. So that'll be interesting. You know, I think it's neat. I wouldn't mind seeing more of this kind of like crossover between game companies. It's just fun, you know. Hey, look, everybody gets along. That's how we get crossplay. Exactly, right? Everyone just needs to get along. Play Sony. See what they're doing here? Yeah. You know, play nice. Play nice, Sony. And finally, real quick, what are your thoughts on this? I think this is a brilliant idea. EB Games is testing something in Australia where they're transforming their entire used game stock into a lending library for a nominal monthly fee. I think it translates to about $15 or $16 US. I think it's $16 US dollars. Yeah, 16 Australian dollars. Australian dollars, which would be about $10 US, I think. Is that what it was? I thought it was the other way around. But anyway, for a monthly fee, you can, instead of buying used games, you can just rent them from EB, any of the used games. See, here's the difference. I thought about this. At first, I'm like, okay, how does this differ from something like Games Pass? Yeah. Right? Or PlayStation Now. Here's the difference. Any used game, meaning a week after a brand new release is out, you could potentially go rent it from them and get a brand new game a week after release. Because a lot of times, and Tico and I can attest to this, there will be used titles of any new game coming in within a week of its release. Because
sometimes within an hour.
Sometimes, but within a week. An hour is still within a week, Tico.
Yes, I'm saying I'm clarifying your thing, saying sometime sooner.
So basically, on the day of release, just hang out at the store and just wait.
Yeah.
But this is the difference. It's okay, yeah, $16 a month. You're right. No, maybe that's, I don't know. Sorry. There is a $16 a month in here. Oh, here it is. Australian, $19.95. So it's $20 Australian, which is about $16 US.
Okay. Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad. I think I would like to get in on something like this if it was $10 a month. To me, $10 is like that sweet spot for a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
Because when I think of the $15 always takes me back to the age of paying $15 a month for an MMO. Right? And for some reason, the $10 is like, okay, it's not 15. It doesn't take me, spending so much money having to play it. Because then you feel like you're obligated to playing the game every month.
Yeah.
This allows you to rent any single, I think it's only one game at a time. But you can rent that game and keep it for as long as you want. Play it through. When you bring it back, you can then exchange it for something else. Any game on the shelf. I think that's a brilliant idea. And what a way to get EB Games sort of back into the forefront, because with digital sales, they're losing a lot. People aren't going to the store.
People aren't walking into the store anymore. They're staying home and buying digitally. They're not going to the store. So this gets bodies back in the store. And when you're picking up your $16 game, maybe you're going to buy something else while you're there.
Right. You buy a pop figure, buy whatever, buy a $10 Assassin's Creed model.
Yes.
But I like this because, like I said earlier, I'm going to repeat myself one last time. The potential here is getting new games, not having to wait a couple of years for them to come into the library. Yeah. You can potentially, there are no cutoffs here. You can rent any game that's on the shelf, and that includes brand new releases that are in many times on the shelf within a week.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's a great idea. It's awesome. I would like to see that come to Canada.
I imagine they would probably put some cutoffs to that, like new release titles probably wouldn't be allowed, because if
they did that originally, apparently, according to this, they tried that at first.
Yeah.
And then they've since removed it. So now there is no limit. So originally it was no more than a $50 game. Any game $50 and less. They've removed that limit now.
Okay.
Which, honestly, I think is a good idea. Because that opens it up and makes it better than something like Games Pass.
Yes. Oh, no, absolutely. This is a better scenario than Games Pass. Absolutely. To be able to walk in. And, again, gets people in the doors for them. People shopping. And, again, if you get something and it's terrible,
you just take it back. Yeah, get something else.
And get something different.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah.
So that's that, and that is that for the show. We are at the end of episode number 264. Thank you, Andy, for dropping in and talking to us. Of course, I am Ziantane, and you can follow me online at XIANTAYNE. Our show notes and all of the articles we discussed, I would recommend reading through a few of these. They're actually really good. You can find them at omgnexus.com. If you like the show, subscribe, give us a like, share us with your friends. We would appreciate it.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place, and you can follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour.
And that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.